This is Rabbi and Son, hot takes on news, pop culture, and religion, hosted by Rabbi Patrick, that's me, and my son Javon, who is over there dropping the Stanley Cup. Spiritual, irreverent, always fearless, produced by Darshan Yeshiva. And Javon, how are you doing today?
Fine.
He's fine as always. All right, so we're going to get into it. I need some dating advice. Not for me, though, because that would be weird, and I'm married to your mom. Okay, this is Reddit. Again, we've been going through Reddit. This is the Reddit Jewish. This is a person named Beautiful-Climate 776. And don't know this person's gender, but they are dating a Catholic woman or interested in dating a Catholic woman. This was a little bit of a weird read because it kind of goes all over the place. But here we go. So dating a Catholic woman, hyphen, no kids intended, question mark. I already have a kid and do not intend to have any more. She does not want kids, and we're both getting to an age where that won't be possible or practical soon. I am typically against interfaith partnerships for that reason. We dated during COVID, and she feels like my soulmate. She feels like she understands me. I and my Jewish side. Okay. I've also become far more religious since October 7th. I don't want to be alone forever, but something also worries me. I was raised very Jewish and my parents are Orthodox. Oh, we actually broke up for a few years because she moved, but we have never lost contact. So it's not like I'd break up with her. Part of me wants ask her if she would convert, but I'm against asking people because number one, Jews don't proselytize. Number two, I don't think you should ask someone to change for you. Thoughts? Well, this was a little bit of scramble channel here. Like I'm kind of all over the place with it. Javon, any immediate thoughts on what to do with Beautiful Climate 776 and their dating issues?
Yeah, this is confusing. It's like three different situations.
It's all over the place. Yeah.
So
should we take it piece by piece, maybe?
Yeah, read the first one over.
So I'm almost thinking about reading it backwards because I think this is a person who they kind of got to the point towards the end and preambled in a bunch of ways that they probably didn't need to. Because, like, first of all, okay, this last paragraph. They mentioned that, I think it's he, I assume, wants this person to convert, okay? But they don't do that. They don't feel like they don't want to do that because they don't want to ask this person to change. And also Jews don't actively seek out converts or whatever. Okay, so my first thing there is, you oh my goodness, where do I want to go with this even? Like, honestly, so first of all,
you want to act her convert.
That's where this is really going. This is what you actually want. You want to ask her to convert. Okay, so that's the first thing you're going to have to actually contend with. The second thing, which maybe is more on a meta level important, is that you broke up for a few years, even though you stayed in contact. Like, that's just interesting to bring up. Like, it's a very non-linear question.
Yeah, and then if you were such soulmates, you would never broke up in the first place.
Well, they broke up because she moved, but I guess they took right
soulmates, right?
Right,
right.
And they
dated up the soul,
and they dated during COVID. So I don't know. Does that mean they dated during COVID, like at a distance, or were
maybe, let's look at the comments.
Okay, yeah, because they were in a COVID pod. Maybe they were in a COVID pod. I don't know. Let's see. For some reason, this is having trouble pulling up comments. I don't know if I think there's some comments here. And then maybe we're having some issues with Reddit all of a sudden. Okay, here we go. Okay. So let's see. How do you envision, so this user, Miriam at home, how do you envision your home life? How old is your child? How much time will they be spending in your home? Are you roughly on the same page? About things, whatever. Okay, here we go. So Beautiful Climate answered some of these questions. So this person is like, no, I am Jewish. The child is 7. I get him alternate weekends and summers. Okay, so you're not the full-time, take the kid to school dad. So, okay. My son is being raised by a mother who despises Judaism and hates it. Wow. Okay. This is interesting. I am my son's connection to Judaism. which as a young kid he thought was pronounced Chewish. I've seen that. It's actually very cute. I did not realize how much of a self-hater my ex-wife was until raising the kid came up. She and I lived together during COVID. Oof. Okay. There was no Christmas trees or crosses hanging, and I would not be okay with that in my home. She knows it. I keep kosher kitchen, but I don't go out of my way to keep kosher outside of the home. I don't eat pork, neither does she. Funny you mentioned Zionism. She's not as pro-war as I am, but I think her view is based on her experience working in war zones. Probably, I suspect. Her parents, ironically, were Muslim and converted to Catholicism. Okay, she's 40. Kids are not in the cards. You say that like kids are not in the cards. I am a kid of someone who got pregnant after 40. So just be careful with your theory that kids aren't going to happen. I'm proof that logic doesn't hold true always. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
Wait, I'm confused. Is the new girlfriend, which was her parents are really Muslim, and then they convert to Catholicism?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, so the ex is Jewish.
The ex is Jewish, but non-practicing and really.
Okay. Yeah. I don't think he should have called her self-hating. It's just she doesn't want to do it, and that's fine. Like. And she doesn't want that for her kid. Honestly, where's the kids like choice? Like I am all with the kids.
You're always with the kids, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, where's the choice at? Like, can the kid decide? Like, to do or not to do? Like,
can the kid decide what to be Jewish or not?
To practice Judaism or not?
Well, I mean, they're kids, so they're going to kind of be stuck doing whatever's happening in the house until they move out, right?
I mean, yeah, so they stuck with the mom who doesn't do that.
Yeah, and this parent is saying like, yeah, I'm the kid's only Jewish connection. So
yeah, but he should have thought about that. You have to. This what people just ready to lay down and
Well, there's nothing we can do about like the previous relationship with like.
Yeah, but the thing is, he should have thought about that before knocking boots. It is these are important conversations that need to be had prior to doing things.
Oh, sure.
That would.
But people also change over time, right? We don't know, how much of this was like she was always not into Judaism and he was always more religious. We don't really know. It could have been they were both on the same page and then he just became more religious over time. Like we don't have the ex-wife's, like side of the story, right? We also don't have the, I guess, girlfriends. Yeah, maybe girlfriend side of the story. Yeah. He's thinking about this in the wrong order. Order number one is if you feel like you need to be with someone who's Jewish, you are not with someone who's Jewish.
And you say you don't even like doing it. You can't.
Don't even like doing what?
He said he doesn't like doing interfaith relationships. That's right. What he said.
And yet that's what he's doing.
Exactly. So how's that person your soulmate when y'all aren't even on the same
page?
Exactly. Right. Nor do you like that thing about her.
Right.
So it's like you're not soulmates, you're just saying words. And it's like, yeah, this is what happens when people jump into relationships and don't take time. This person I feel like is not loving themselves. That's what I feel like.
They're not loving themselves?
Yeah.
Talk that out.
You have to love yourself before you get into a relationship. You just got out of another relationship. Then you saying y'all were dating during the pandemic. And then somehow
there was breaking up at some point.
You broke up. And then, but you're not in favor of interfaith relationships.
Yeah, right.
It's just like
who's the self-hating brain. Jew now?
Like, yeah, you're very like scrambled brain. And then what do your parents being Orthodox have to do with anything?
I think he's just trying to explain his background. I don't think it had much to do with anything. He's just trying to say like, I think this reads in a very non-linear, mixed up, confused way, probably because this is what's going on in the person's head.
Exactly. This person does not need to be in a relationship. They need to be focused on going to work, self-care, and being a dad.
Oh, dang.
Dad first.
Javon throws down the law.
Work second,
everything else third.
And everything else third.
Yeah.
Like you have to have time, spending on you instead of being out of one relationship and then directly into another. And now you're just like, wondering all these things,
right?
When you should have pondered that not in a relationship, because now you're having someone else's feelings into it,
right?
And then like you're just, it's going to be a free fall.
Right.
And then, unintended consequences.
I don't know that your girlfriend signed up to be part of this existential religious crisis.
Exactly. And it sounds like he's 40.
Yeah.
So
they're at least 40.
crisis situation going on.
Could be. Could be a little of that. Could be a remarrying is like, this is the last relationship I'm going to have because I'm middle-aged, it could be some stuff like that. Could be, you're only seeing your kid on weekends and on holidays. So maybe there's some like feelings around that are kind of big. But yeah, I think what I would say to this person is you are adamant that you're against something that you yourself are in. And you're talking poorly about the, mother of your child for not being religious. You are, and yet you're doing a thing that in this religion is a no-no. So like clearly you just have a lot going on. And I would number one, take Javon's advice, like get some priorities, focus on that. The other thing too is that we talked about this, I don't know how many episodes ago, about like there needs to be dating apps that are values based instead of like swiping on photos.
But
because like this is a person who needs to go on a dating app, and not even a Jewish dating app. They just need to go on a dating app. They need to put in that what they truly value is ... and then it opens up the world to them, because he probably has a very legitimate friendship, passionate relationship, whatever, with this woman, this Catholic woman, and that is sincere. I don't doubt that.
I doubt that.
Well, okay. I don't doubt the sincerity of the relationship, or at least let me rephrase that. I don't doubt that he feels strongly for her enough that he would then say to himself, like, maybe she'd convert for me. But at the same time, like, I think that this is a person who's going through a lot. And this is a relationship where it's not even lasted the test of time. They've already broken up before. So yeah, get your priorities figured out. If being Orthodox matters to you, then you need to focus on in your, step one, as you said, Javon, like it's kid, then it's work, then it's everything else. So in the other everything else category, focus on mitzvahs, focus on being, a practicing Jew. Tell this person that you have had a relationship with, hey, look, we're not on the same page. We've broken up before. It's time to move on and move on. And it's that simple. You won't do this. They won't do these things, I'm sure. but
yeah, it's just, yeah, no, this person is not your soulmate, clearly. Like, you don't break up with your soulmate. And this is not someone that, like, if you don't like interfaith date, like, it just, do you not like it or do your parents not like it? I feel like that should be a question asked also.
Sure.
And then it's like,
well, we don't know if this person's parents are still around. I mean, that's part of it too.
I mean, well, considering he said, I'm, kids on Jewish Connection, maybe the parents aren't around. But as for what does she have to do with the kid situation? Like, I'm confused on like.
Well,
he says he has one kid, and she doesn't want any kids, and so why is he worried about kids?
Well, he's worried about kids because in Judaism you can be Jewish, basically a couple of different ways. So one is you're born from a Jewish mother. Doesn't matter if the dad is Jewish or not. And that's the very traditional perspective. The second is a more liberal perspective, which is that if either parent is Jewish and you're raised in Judaism, then you're Jewish. There's converting, which everyone widely accepts. And then there's if you're adopted, right? If you're adopted by a Jewish family, then you're Jewish by virtue of that. So what I think he's worried about is, or not worried about, but he's reminding us about, is that if he is with her, then if they were younger, they might have kids. And then if he's Orthodox, well, it's a problem because the kids won't be Jewish unless they convert them. And so that's where he keeps bringing up kids because of that. Like, but what are you going to raise the kids? Well, if there's no kids to raise beyond the child he already has, then that's a factor. But again, it's because he's all over the place.
Yeah, see, I could be giving me better advice if, he was somewhere, not sounding crazy.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you'd almost want to take this and put it into Chat GPT and just say, rearrange the following questions in order of importance, because they're just kind of, this person's clearly like, they're clearly all over the place. And I feel sorry for them because, like, they're obviously like just going through a lot. And yeah, but they need to sit back and prioritize a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much prioritize.
Yeah. Yep. So we need to get into the app development business. I think the values app is like, yeah.
You can't be saying ideas like that before someone steal it. And actually, we have, audio proof of us coming up with the idea.
Oh yeah,
so those
time
thieves out
stamp
there,
it.
who want to steal this magnificent idea, we will be coming for you financially if you are to steal this idea.
Don't steal our ideas. All right, everybody, thank you so much. Thank you to our sponsors at Darshan Yeshiva for making this content possible. Darshan Yeshiva provides beginner-level online Jewish learning, including the very popular Conversion to Judaism program, with sponsoring rabbis and students all over the world. Start your Jewish journey any place, anywhere, and anytime with our conservative, reform, reconstructionist, Jewish renewal, humanistic, and post-denominational rabbi mentors. Become the Jew you always wanted to be with Darshan Yeshiva.